Okay guys, here we are in round 4 of a vintage premiere event, and our opponent is Reeniee. And I actually saw Reeniee earlier in an earlier round, and I believe he's playing big blue of some sort with mana drains and force of will. Not quite sure what his win condition is, but was actually watching one of my clanmates stream, and it just for about 5 minutes, and happened to see him playing this opponent. So I think this is a pretty good turn 1 hand. I think we play Ancient Tomb into Sol Ring, and we'll see what happens from there. And, you know, if that lands through, then I think we may want to consider Black Lotusing. Let's take a look and see. Because if my opponent doesn't have a Force of Will here, oh, my opponent's of course on the play, so, which makes this a little more of a dangerous hand, but we're going to try and do it. This could easily get mental misstepped or spell pierced. Okay, and it did. So the question is now is do we actually go for a Forge Master here? And I'm not sure that we do, because Forge Master is not. I mean, Forge Master is okay in this situation, but we don't have any other artifacts on the table, and it's definitely the least powerful of all of these cards here. Maybe not Triskelion, but. Having said that, though, this could be our opportunity to actually sneak something through. He does not have a mana drain up. So we got 4 mana. No, we can't even do it. So I don't think there's a reason to play it out. We'll just pass turn here. Where we need to be careful against this type of a deck is, you know, if he's playing mana drain, you know, ramping him into something like the Jace the Mind Sculptor is almost impossible for us to beat. I think I'll set a Chalice at 1 here and see what happens. I would not be surprised to see this get mana drained. It still hits a Jace. So my opponent's thinking about it. Okay, so he's not going to let this through. He's going to mana drain it, is my guess. Which is a little bit unfortuitous, but, you know, there's not much we can actually do about it. So, yeah. So now the question is, do we go for the... I think, see, if I could get the Triskelion, and the Triskelion would be really good here. See, the thing is I don't want to give him the mana again, but he could very easily ramp into a Jace, but I think we're going to have to let him do that. And if this gets Force of Will, then so be it. There's not much we can do about that. And hopefully we're not running into a Jace or a Force of Will here. First thing's Force of Will. Let's get through Force. Yeah. And hopefully we're not hitting a Jace here. Or a Tezzeret, for that matter. Because Jace is pretty potent against us here. Okay, Merchant Scroll. I can live with that. And hopefully we draw Mishra's Workshop here. That would be good. Okay, Ancestral Recall is a pretty good card. Okay, LOA, that's a strong card against us for sure. We need to draw another Sol land here, and I think preferably the card we need to find here is a Mishra's Workshop. Okay, so that is really a good draw for us. Let's sneak in here. If we do get Force of Willed here, it's not the end of the world, because our opponent will have to pitch lands. I think we just go for a Triskelion here, is my feeling. It's a little bit sad we're having to plunk ourselves like we are, but this gives us some insurance against Jace the Mind Sculptor. So he's drawn away on his LOA here, which is pretty good. Okay. So Lodestone Golem is a strong card here. I think we cast the Lodestone pre-combat. The reason we're doing that is we can hold a Forge Master up here if we need to. Like if this resolves, yeah. So we can hit him for 7, 10. That puts him to 3 mana. And I don't think there's anything I really want to dig out of my library here. Like, I mean, I can go and... Yeah, I think I'm just going to plow for 7 here. Is that correct? I think this is the correct play. Or is it not? Because I'm almost assuredly not sacrificing these 3 creatures to get something else. So I am going to just plow here. And this is essentially holding up, putting him to 3 damage. So no, he's got a lot of cards here in his hand for sure, and there's no doubt that he can do some broken stuff, but so he's casting something here. Is it okay? Brainstorm. That's fine. But we are representing lethal damage here if he lets us untap, so okay. So I'm not sure what we're playing against here. I'm really not. I don't really think we're going to make any changes here at all. I mean, I guess there's some merit for something like a Precursor Golem here, but I'm just going to leave things as B. You know, it could be a Talrand Gush Bond we're playing against. It could be Tezzerator. Yeah, we're just going to go with this and see how things go. Okay, this is not a phenomenal hand. However, it could be very good if my opponent does not have Wasteland. I don't foresee him having Wasteland in the deck that he's playing, so I'm going to gamble with it. All we need to do is draw another land, and hopefully we can get there. Okay, and there is another land. So what we're going to do here is we are going to try the big play of turn 1 Trinisphere. It's unlikely to resolve, but if it does resolve, it's one of the best turn 1 plays you can have in stacks. And so it's probably going to get sabotaged here is my guess. Okay, Spell Pierce is a great card. You got good value on that one. And next turn we can follow this up with either a Tangle Wire. Oh, Strip Mine. Jeez. Okay. We're going to have to get lucky now, guys. That's a bit of a blowout. Okay. Punished. We are really going to have to draw well here. And against a control blue deck, it's pretty grim for us, I would think. Okay, let's see if we can get a Sol Ring through. That's a solid start. Probably get mana drained or misstepped, one or the other. Okay, Sabotage. We're trying. Let's get a workshop going here. That's what we're after. Okay, Strip Mine is something. I mean, there may be some merit to stripping his lands here and you know, trying to prevent him from casting a Jace, but I just think we need to deal with our own resources here. We've got a full mid of cards, and if we can cast them, then we might have a chance. Okay, Black Lotus is definitely a good card here. I am going to try and cast a Lodestone Golem here. What I am going to... No. I mean, he might have Mana Drain here, but... Well, let's see if it resolves first. Yeah, my opponent's not too worried about what I'm doing here. So I think this is 5 mana. I think we're just going to go for the Lodestone Golem here, and well, hopefully we can get him through. And you know, we could strip him for a mana drain to prevent that, but yeah, you see, there's just no point in doing that. Until we draw some good lands. Cavern of Souls would be pretty solid. So my opponent's not doing much of anything here either. He's just sitting back on... So unfortunately, I think we're just going to ditch a Sphere of Resistance here. It's the only card we can cast, however, it's definitely one of the worst. My opponent is just playing lands. We are not doing anything. Okay. He's just sitting on a lot of counter spells. We are drawing all the wrong cards here. So we're probably going to see a Snapcaster Mage here. Or maybe not. Or he's just filtering. I'm not sure. Okay, Vampiric Tutor. Okay. Well, this probably, without a doubt, spells our doom, but we have been lucky to be able to hang around this game as long as we have been. And this is probably Jace. Or Tezzeret, it looks like. Okay, so we can concede this game. We're not going to get there. Yeah, unfortunate there, guys. We did run into a Strip Mine, and Strip Mine is definitely bad for us. I think I'm just going to go for the double Crucible here, and I'm going to take it to Staff and In. And let's see if we can get there, guys. We definitely need to win this game. A card here that's pretty big for us in this match is Cavern of Souls. He's big blue and we need to get through his counter spells, and I think he'd have a whole bunch of difficulty keeping up with our threats. We would like to play first. Now, this is pretty bad, but I am going to keep it because of the Cavern of Souls, and we can do a turn 3 Lodestone Golem. Our opponent is mulliganed. Okay, and he keeps his hand. So I'm just, I don't see a maybe I do just expose it. Yeah. I'm going to play the Ancient Tomb against my better judgment here. The reason being is if we draw another Ancient Tomb, or we preferably a Mishra's Workshop, we can play a Lodestone Golem out, and Lodestone is going to be difficult for our opponent to deal with. As I say, this is not a perfect hand, but it's a hand that has some merit. Okay, our opponent is... Is this a Workshop we're seeing? Or Thoughtseize, perhaps? Okay. So he's probably digging for a Strip Mine, would be my guess. So we'd like to see a Mox in here. Or a Workshop. That is not good. Okay, well, we'll see what happens here. This is a very awful situation to be in here, because if my opponent turns around and drops a Dark Confidant on me, that's troublesome. And if okay, So he's gone for 8. So this is not so bad. Or as we stand, it's not so bad. It could be bad. Okay, so now we're going to play this. And we are going to put this on Golem. And hopefully we can get there off this, guys. And I am going to wasteland his underground sea here to try and keep him further under. And hopefully we don't get hit back with anything. Now presumably he does have a land in his hand here. But if he leaves our lands alone, I think we're probably in somewhat of a reasonable position here. Okay. All right. Well, let's attack in here. And let's see what he does. Hopefully he doesn't have a Hercules recall here. Okay. Brainstorm's fine. He cannot force a Willet. Oh, he can, but it won't serve him well. And he cannot mana drain me. Or steal Sabotage for that matter. Okay. Is he gonna turn his Misty here? Well, I mean, he can bounce me with a Steel Sabotage for sure. I think we're just going to plow in here. Oh, I missed an opportunity to kill him. He's probably got a Snapcaster, though. Wow, that was a big mistake. And I don't think I want to mana drain him here. And I don't think I want to play a... yeah, because he can pay my toll. I'm going to let him go. That was a missed opportunity, folks. Alright, we didn't get punished for that.